Fog wraps around your ankles like it wants to pull you under. The street ahead is endless, gray swallowing gray, and every step sounds louder than it should. Somewhere in that mist, a radio in your hand hisses static, sharp and sudden, warning you of something just out of sight. And then, silence. No health bar, no compass, no glowing quest marker telling you what to do. Just the thud of your heartbeat and the creeping realization that the town itself is alive, watching, waiting, and reshaping itself around your fears. Silent Hill doesn't ask if you can fight monsters. It asks if you can fight yourself. Could you survive a place where every creature is built from your guilt? Every corridor is designed to get you lost, and the only way out might be facing truths you don't want to admit? By the end of this guide, you'll know whether survival in Silent Hill is possible, or if the fog would swallow you whole. Silent Hill looks like a small lakeside town on a map. A quiet resort in Maine, once a tourist getaway, with a picturesque waterfront. But beneath that postcard setting lies centuries of blood and fire. Long before James Sunderland ever set foot here, this land was sacred and dangerous. Native tribes spoke of the lake as a veil between worlds, performing rituals to commune with spirits. When colonists arrived, violence followed. Wars, massacres, and broken graves left scars that never healed. In the late 1800s, a prison rose here, then a hospital. Both became sites of cruelty and death. Even the coal mines beneath the town burned for years, choking the air with smoke. By the 20th century, Silent Hill was home to cults who believed pain could summon gods. Their rituals turned faith into torture. Sacrifices stained the soil. And from all of this, the wars, the rituals, the suffering, the town became something more than geography. It became a mirror. Silent Hill changes depending on who enters it. Some people see empty streets. Others see monsters that embody their darkest thoughts. Angela, a woman haunted by abuse, sees walls of fire. Eddie, mocked his whole life, sees a town that laughs at him. Laura, a child untouched by guilt, sees no monsters at all. For James Sunderland, the man you play in Silent Hill 2, the town becomes a crucible of grief. His monsters are twisted nurses, faceless mannequins, and the executioner, Pyramid Head, each one born of his guilt over Mary, his sick wife, and the choices he made as her illness dragged on. That's the foundation. Silent Hill isn't just haunted, it's reactive, feeding on guilt like oxygen. The more you deny, the worse it gets, which means surviving here isn't about bullets or bravery. It's about whether your mind can hold steady when the fog turns it inside out. Let's strip the supernatural away for a second. Imagine you were really dropped into Silent Hill. How would physics and environment work against you? First, the fog. Real fog isn't just spooky, it eats distance. Visibility in dense fog can drop to less than 100 feet. Your depth perception collapses. Landmarks disappear. Studies show that without clear reference points, people walking in fog literally drift in circles, believing they're going straight. Silent Hill weaponizes this. The paper map is your only safeguard. If you don't annotate blocked alleys and locked doors, you'll burn hours looping the same street. Indoors, a handheld flashlight, say one running at 100 lumens, illuminates maybe 20 to 30 feet ahead. That means your cone of vision is about the size of a small bedroom, and everything outside that cone might as well not exist. Worse, in Silent Hill, the flashlight doubles as a beacon. Turn it on, and enemies notice you faster. Leave it off, and you're blind. Then there's sound. James's radio acts like a proximity sensor, spitting static when monsters approach. In real life, this is brilliant design. Sounds travel farther than light and fog. A snapping twig or a shift in static might be your only warning system. Weapons bring another survival layer. A steel pipe gives you infinite swings, but demands stamina. A 9mm handgun might carry 15 rounds, powerful but limited. The shotgun delivers devastating power at close range, but requires bracing, leaving you exposed. Think about that in physics terms. The heavier the weapon, the less mobile you become. Silent Hill forces you into trade-offs between firepower and movement. Finally, resources. Healing drinks and first aid kits aren't scattered everywhere. Imagine rationing 3 bottles of water on a 20-mile trek. Every sip becomes a decision. Drink now for relief, or save it for later when you might really need it. Silent Hill's health system is exactly that. Scarcity magnified by uncertainty. Strip away the monsters, and you're still fighting fog, darkness, acoustics, and physics. Add the creatures back in, and those systems become death traps. But physics only explains so much. To really know if you'd survive Silent Hill, you need to understand biology, your own limits under stress. Here's the truth. Silent Hill doesn't kill you with claws. It kills you with exhaustion. James has no health bar. His condition is written in his body language. Slouching posture, shallow breaths, dragging steps. That's survival 101. In real crises, your body becomes your only gauge. But stress hormones like adrenaline trick you. They dull pain, mask fatigue, and push you until you collapse. Silent Hill captures this perfectly. By the time James shows obvious weakness, you're already in danger. Now, imagine the biology. Walking through dense fog burns calories faster than clear travel because you're constantly adjusting pace and posture. Add adrenaline spikes from near misses, and your heart rate skyrockets. A typical adult burns about 100 calories per mile walked on flat ground. Under stress, that can double. If you trek Silent Hill's twisting streets for hours, your body chews through reserves like a firestorm. Sleep becomes the next limit. In survival scenarios, missing even 24 hours degrades reaction time by 25%. After 48 hours, your brain starts hallucinating. Silent Hill already warps perception. Deprived of sleep, you wouldn't just misinterpret sounds. You'd imagine threats that aren't there, wasting precious resources. Psychology is the real killer. Silent Hill isn't generic horror. It's tailored guilt. That means every monster is a weaponized memory. Picture confronting a faceless mannequin shaped from your own shame, or being stalked by an executioner that embodies your guilt. Adrenaline might get you through the first encounter, but repeated psychological assaults erode your decision-making. And then there's denial. Survivors in disasters often freeze, unable to accept what's happening. In Silent Hill, denial fuels the town. The more you resist the truth, the harsher the manifestations. It's not just about endurance, it's about honesty. Fail that test, and no amount of bullets will save you. Your body fails slowly through fatigue, hunger, and stress. Your mind fails suddenly through guilt breaking into hallucination. Silent Hill is designed to hit both. That's why the real question isn't whether you can kill a monster, but whether you can stay sane long enough to face the truth. Silent Hill feels supernatural, but its mechanics echo real-world survival. Take navigation. Arctic explorers report the same problem Silent Hill players face. Whiteout conditions erase landmarks, and even veterans walk in circles. Their solution? Annotated maps and physical markers. James's scrawled notes on his map aren't game flavor. They're survival tactics lifted from real exploration. Or sound detection. Militaries already use acoustic sensors to track drones or footsteps in low visibility environments. James's radio static isn't far off. It's a crude but effective early warning system. What about the monsters? Strangely, Silent Hill's design mirrors psychological experiments. In the 1970s, researchers tested how guilt shapes perception. Participants shown ambiguous images often reported seeing threatening shapes when primed with guilt. Silent Hill magnifies this into flesh and blood, monsters as projections of unresolved memory. Sleep deprivation parallels are even stronger. Soldiers deprived of 48 hours of rest show slower reflexes than someone legally drunk. Combine that with stress, and hallucinations become common. It fills blanks with nightmare logic. Even Pyramid Head has a real-world echo. Recurring characters who embody guilt and reappear until the dreamer resolves their conflict. Pyramid Head is that archetype given steel and weight. As for resource scarcity, disaster survival matches it exactly. After Hurricane Katrina, studies showed survivors rationed food and medicine, not just based on need, but on uncertainty. What if tomorrow is worse? That same fear drives you in Silent Hill. Do you drink the health potion now, or risk saving it for later? So while Silent Hill's fog and monsters feel supernatural, the survival mechanics are all grounded in real-world science. The town exaggerates them, but it doesn't invent them, which means the question becomes sharper. If real people buckle under fog, guilt, fatigue, and hunger, what chance do you really have in Silent Hill? That answer lies in the consequences. Silent Hill doesn't give you one ending. It gives you 6, each one reflecting how you handled survival. Leave is the pathway of honesty. James accepts Mary's death, faces his guilt, and walks forward with Laura. This is survival through acceptance, painful but genuine. In Water is collapse. James drives into the lake, surrendering. For a survival scenario, this is the clearest failure. The environment wins by breaking you. Maria is denial. James leaves with a woman who looks like Mary, but her cough shows the cycle repeating. He hasn't survived. He's trapped. Rebirth is obsession. James hunts for occult rituals to resurrect Mary. It looks like survival, but it's just another cage. The last two, Dog and UFO, are jokes. A Shiba Inu behind the controls, aliens abducting James. They're comic relief, but they prove the point. Silent Hill doesn't have a fixed canon. It has reflections. Viewed through survival logic, only leave counts. Survival in Silent Hill isn't about dodging monsters or rationing resources. It's about whether you can be honest with yourself. Fail that test, and the town has you forever. So, could you survive? The numbers don't lie. Fog disorients. Sleep loss cripples reflexes. Stress doubles calorie burn. Guilt erodes sanity. Without preparation, most people would buckle in days. The monsters aren't the threat. The environment and your mind are. Silent Hill 2 teaches one survival lesson above all. The hardest fight isn't against monsters, it's against yourself. So here's the final verdict. Most people wouldn't survive Silent Hill, not because they'd run out of bullets or get lost in the fog, but because denial is easier than truth. Only by facing what you'd rather bury could you ever hope to walk out. Now, here's the fun twist. What would you do to survive Silent Hill? Leave your strategy in the comments. And if you want more survival guides through horror's deadliest worlds, hit subscribe. Because next time, we're testing whether you could outlast something even worse than monsters, the darkness inside your own head.